Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back. From the Daily Wire. Instagram apologizes after suspending account of Gold Star mother who lost son in Afghan terror attack. Yeah, she ripped them. She really ripped them, and good for her. But before we get into it, I'm going to do a short rant. In this case, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, PayPal, Patreon, all the big social media sites and all the big woke organizations that you can pass money through. A lot of content creators use that to raise money through PayPal and such like that are all being cut off and deleted and controlled and censored. If I forgot any, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And in my case, YouTube especially, you all can go yourselves. Let me repeat that. All of you social media monsters that control narratives, that destroy people trying to do something to help their country, try to be influencers, not to influence people what to think, but influence people to look at the facts, to have people look at everything and question everything. Look at things logically. Look at all the information that's available on all sides and make a conclusion. That's what I try to influence people to do. Not what to think, but how to think. So I'll try it one more time. All of you social media monsters, your day is coming. And when it comes, I hope your stock crashes and your billions burn. And until then, you can go yourself. End of rant. Instagram has apologized after suspending the account of a Gold Star mother who lost her son in the terror attack in Kabul's international airport last week. The Facebook-controlled platform told the Washington Examiner that Shauna Campbell's account had been suspended in error. Chappelle had been vocal on social media about holding President Biden responsible for the death of her son, 20-year-old Lance Corporal Kareem Kikoy. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. Rest his soul. Yeah, she ripped him. And she was there at the airport. Stood right toe-to-toe with Biden, nose to nose. We express our deepest condolences to Miss Chappelle and her family. Her tribute to her heroic son does not violate any of our policies, Instagram statement continued. Yeah, they suspended her in error. What a crock of bullshit. You guys suck. And that's being kind. You guys have taken one of the most amazing things that have ever happened in the history of the world, in the history of humanity, the internet. Something that was an extraordinary thing for just small guys like myself that want to express their opinion or talk to and influence like-minded people or try to shape opinion, change people's minds, do all the things that the founders wanted. But do it on the internet. Get a little bit of equipment and you have a little bit of talent, you can be influential. And it was an amazing thing. And huge amounts of talented people come out of the woodwork. Granted, like anything else, a huge amount of them sucked as well. But that's the nature of people. And you manage to take something as noble and amazing as that, and what you've done, basically, is you just it all up. All of it. With your one-sided, progressive monster tactics of censorship. To say it's an outrage is unbelievable. And then a Gold Star mother? What the is wrong with you people? It seems Instagram took it upon themselves to delete my account because I am assuming it was because I gained so many followers over my son's death due to Biden's negligence. Ignorance and him being a traitor, Chappelle wrote. I'm going to assume that Facebook is going to delete my next. Funny how these leftist one-sided pieces of crap don't want the truth to come out. Well, you know what? Good for you, ma'am. You hit it right on the head. Decoy died last week during a terror attack in Kharzi by the Islamic State-affiliated group ISIS-K. A suicide bomber detonated his bomb vest near one of the main gates of the airport, which, by the way, was supposedly these people were being screened by the Taliban. Things that make you go, Killing Decoy and a dozen other U.S. service members, as well as dozens of Afghan civilians. Chappelle and her husband have been outspoken in their criticism of Biden's social media posts and during television interviews. In one post, Chappelle relayed her interaction with the president during Decoy's homecoming at Dover Air Force Base in President Biden's home state of Delaware. He's originally from Pennsylvania, but Delaware is really his state. This message is for you, she said. I know my face is etched into your brain. I was able to look you straight in the eyes yesterday and have words with you. And after I lay my son to rest, you will be seeing me again. Remember, I am the one who stood 5 inches from your face and was letting you know how I would never get to hug my son again. Hear his laugh, and then you try to interrupt me and give me your own sob story that I had to tell you this wasn't about you, so don't make it about you. You then said you just wanted me to know that you know how I feel. And I let you know that you don't know how I feel, and you do not have the right to tell me you know how I feel. And then you rolled your eyes in your head like you were annoyed with me, and I let you know that the only reason why I was talking to you was out of respect for my son, and that was the only reason why. I then proceeded to tell you again how you took my son away from me and how I'll never get to hug him, kiss him, laugh, etc. You turned to walk away, and I let you know my son's blood was on your hands, and you threw your hand up behind you as you walked away from me, like saying something like, okay, whatever. You're not the President of the United States of America, Biden. Cheating isn't winning. You are no leader of any kind. You're a weak human being and a traitor. You turned your back on my son, on all of our heroes. You're leaving the White House one way or another because you don't belong there. My son's blood is on your hands. All 13 of them, their blood is on your hands. If my President Trump was in his rightful seat, my son and other heroes would still be alive. You'll be seeing me again very soon. By the way, as my son and the rest of our fallen heroes are being taken off the plane yesterday, I watched you disrespect us all 5 different times by checking your watch. What the was so important that you had to keep looking at your watch? You are nobody special, Biden. America hates you. Those are very strong words. And obviously, very emotional for her. She lost her son. And that's how a president reacts. Can you imagine? This is 13 people, and it's a lot. I'm not sure on the amount that have died in Middle East wars over the years. Thousands. It makes me think sometimes that you'll see a picture of a president going in. Presidents that give a shit, I should say, or at least halfway there. A picture of when they go in, and usually 8 years later when they come out, and they have aged dramatically. This piece of crap, our president, was out of line completely. Yes, his son died of cancer. Yes, his son was a veteran in Iraq. All those things are true. Instead of saying, I know what it's like to lose a son, I'm so sorry. He didn't. He made it about himself. Now, his son didn't die in combat, but I still take my hat off to him that he served. No problem with his son. I know nothing about him except that he's a veteran and died of brain cancer, which is probably a horrible death. Rest his soul. But it makes me think of things like you see historical movies of Lincoln. I want you to think there's a scene in Lincoln where he goes to the telegraph office, and there's two telegraph operators there, and he's going to send a message to General Grant. It was what they call secesh negotiators, representatives, secesh being the Southern Confederacy. They were coming up to Washington to talk peace, to make peace, to end the war. It was right around the time Lincoln was trying to push the 13th Amendment, making slavery finally illegal and unlawful in the United States for all time. A huge historical event, a huge milestone in our history that we're still healing over, by the way. And he's going to send a message telling them to bring such delegates up to Washington. And then he talks, says a few things, a very, very, very cool conversation with the two telegraph operators. And then he tells the one operator to change part of the telegram, to tell General Grant, do not send the secession delegates, the Confederate delegates, to Washington. Send them somewhere in Virginia and hold them there until you get my orders. And then he gets up and puts his hand on both their shoulders. And as he's walking away, he stooped over with his head down. Now, many people don't know why he looked like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. By changing that telegram, he killed over 20,000 Americans because he knew Petersburg, the Battle of Petersburg was coming. The Confederates were dug in there for a very long time, for months. And it was time to break the logjam. And over 20,000 Americans died. When I say Americans, that's both sides. And probably double that wounded. And by changing that telegram, he knew that would happen. And that's why he had his head down and he walked slowly away. That's what presidents do. They make the tough calls, even when they're horrendous, because they know in the end it's the right thing. You, President Biden, on the other hand, you don't deserve to be president. I have more respect for Barack Obama than I do for you, and believe me, I have very little respect for President Obama. Very little. The last 10 presidents has been hit and miss. We used to have statesmen. What do we have now? What do we have? You weren't even smart enough to, one, not keep glancing at your watch. Like what? You have to be at an appointment? You're the President of the United States. You get there when you get there. These are dead American soldiers. Shame on you. And number two, you don't even have the intelligence or even gave a crap enough to pretend that you're upset. To pretend. You blew that woman off. Yes, she was very loud. And yes, she was very angry. But you should have let her vent. You owed her that. Because your inaction as President of the United States caused her son to die. But to even make it worse, I think what makes her crazy and makes her furious than anything else. He knew that going over that might happen as a soldier. But what she has to live with every single day of her life is not only did my son die, my son died for nothing. For nothing. And it doesn't even faze you. President Biden, shame on you. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.